So I have a billet of Damascus here. It is Damascus clad Sanmai, and I'm going to start drawing it out. This is a billet that I started a couple of months ago and got it all forge welded and didn't start fully drawing it out yet because I didn't have a plan as to what I wanted to make. But now that I know exactly what I'm going to make, I'm going to go ahead and get it all drawn out to where it needs to be, and then we can start forging our spearhead. Now that I have good steel on both ends, I am going to go ahead and draw the tang out, and then it'll be time to forge the blade. I have the tang all drawn out. I have not forged it flat like I want it yet, but now that I have a good handle, I can forge the blade. I left it real nice and thick, so I can forge out the whole blade like I want. And once that blade is forged, then I will forge down the tang like I want, and it'll be time to start grinding. spear that I forged, and I tried really hard to get it as wide as I wanted, but I'm a little short on steel. So this will still get used. I'll probably make a Bowie knife out of it. It's real nice, really cool Damascus. I can use most of the tang to make some smaller little hidden tang blades, but I went ahead and just forged out a new one, and that is much closer to the shape that I wanted. Yeah, I really wanted that little bit more width here and here, and on this one it just was not quite enough. So a little short on material. So I'm going to go ahead and start grinding on this one, start getting this rough ground, and we will continue with this one. So I've ground off most of the scale, and I did a little test etch. Can't really see it on camera because the pattern is so fine. It's not super fine, but it's too fine to see on the camera. I can see it amazingly in person, and it looks just incredible. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the normalizing and thermal cycling now, and that'll just help me to preserve as much of the steel on here as I can. But I am very pleased with how this one is looking. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed, and then after all of the thermal cycling stuff is done, I'll do the rest of the rough grinding. The edge is still really thick, so I'll take that quite a bit thinner, and then it's going to be time to go into the quench. So I'm going to go ahead and light the forge and get this all normalized and thermal cycled. And I get to show you guys my new forge. I unfortunately did not have the time to document the build. It's nothing special, but it's way nicer than my last one. That's really cool. And I purposefully made the door smaller so that I can have it mostly closed, and I can still put smaller stuff in and out. That saves a lot on propane. It's a very efficient forge. And that is rough ground enough to do the heat treat. Got the edge nice and thinned out, but still a good amount of thickness there so that I don't get any kind of wobble in the quench. If you look really closely, I'm going to zoom you guys in. Did a little test etch, and you can really see that pattern. And that is just going to be really cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and get the heat treating oven ready. It'll be time to quench this. So this is actually where I'm going to call this episode. In the next episode, I will be doing the heat treat. But before that, I actually do need to drill all of the pinholes in the tang. I don't want to try to do that after I get it all hardened. It will be very difficult, and I'll have to use carbide, and it's just better just to do it before. So I hope you'll join me in the next episode. I'm going to start by getting that tang drilled and kind of fit to its handle, and then it'll be time to go into the quench. So I'm very excited to get this all heat treated, and I hope to see you on the next video. I want to thank you for making this far. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.